Very good Friday morning to everyone out there across the Wobbles community. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather and night forecast courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. We're going to dry out eventually. That's the good news. But we can get a look here at the latest surface map. We have that overlay with the latest radar out there this morning, and we have got some interesting things to look at. We've got our low pressure system over here along with this cold front that's going to be driving off to the north and east. That has taken the rain along with it, and we're going to be dry throughout the vast majority of today. We are dealing with some light mist and some fog out there, but as we steadily work throughout the day, today is going to be a day to catch our breath before this other weather maker across the southern plains with this developing low pressure system slices off to the north and east and brings us back a very active start to that upcoming weekend. We can get a view over the skies of Wobbles early this morning. Get a gander over downtown Bowling Green. The D93 Skycam showcasing cloudy skies down in that direction. Got a semi-truck hung up there at the four-way stop. Looking over the Beach Tree News Skycam up in Morgantown, we have got the thick low-lying stratus. We're going to have some fog out there. Be aware of that for your morning commute as you head out. The good news is, though, we're going to be looking at better, nicer conditions as we get into next week. But again, folks, we're going to have to be making it through this next 24 to 48 hours, rolling into the latter part of the weekend, going on into the early days of next week before we're finally going to catch a complete reprieve from the action. Taking a look at temperatures and the latest rainfall amounts over the past 48 hours, we are at or above 2 inches here in Warren County, approaching that here across the rest of the region. You take it combined over the past 3 days, folks, the vast majority of the region is at or above 1.5 inches of total rainfall. We've been preaching since Monday of this week. We're expecting 2 to 4 inches total. Layer on another inch, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more throughout the weekend. We're going to be right on the money. Temperatures hanging out right around the 50-degree mark. We might climb a few degrees here as we work throughout the day. They're going to be somewhat constant, to be honest, folks. And then we're going to see a little bit cooler temperatures glide back in here throughout the weekend before we warm up again during the early days of next week. Here's a look at the latest surface map. We were just looking at it there on the latest satellite, but to give you a little bit better idea, you can see where the low pressure system is getting its act together over here across the southern plains. High pressure trying to nose in here from the west is what's going to keep us dry throughout the day. But after we get rid of the low-lying stratus and the fog this morning, expect it to remain partly to mostly cloudy. Throughout the entirety of today, a light west wind. Again, folks, temperatures aren't going to really be budging or going anywhere. We can jump over here and take a look at the latest short-term model guidance to give you an idea whenever that rain is going to be arriving here across our neck of the woods. And again, folks, it's not going to be until we get into our Saturday morning. Here we are progressing into sunrise. It's going to be right here on our doorstep or even engulfing the southern tier Wobbles. And then as we work throughout our Saturday, it's just going to get more intense. We get this slug of moisture with deeper moisture within the atmosphere jarring and jolting up, advecting northward out of the Gulf of Mexico. That continues all the way into the afternoon, all the way into Saturday evening, throughout Saturday night. And here we are even getting into sunrise on Sunday with some lingering rain showers continuing to pester the region. As we work throughout the day, we're going to have to keep some light scattered drizzle or a light shower chance intact with low-level moisture remaining trapped in here. But it's not going to be until we get into next week that we finally look at a much more nicer pattern for us. Getting a big picture view here, looking at the latest, we'll take you through here and show you what's going to unfold. So here we are progressing through tonight. Here's Saturday. This low will cut directly due northeast, riding right along the spine of the Appalachian Mountains. Keeps it all the way around through Sunday. And then, folks, look at this high pressure trying to build in here. Partly sunny and nice on Monday. Tuesday into Wednesday, we got this little clipper system that's going to be diving south and east through the area. Maybe some light scattered rain chances in the Tuesday time frame. And then we work throughout our Wednesday on into the weekend of next week. High pressure is going to settle in and bring us a much quieter, much warmer pattern for us to take in and enjoy. And I think after this week, folks, with as little sunshine as we've gotten, we definitely deserve it. That is to say the least. All right. So getting a look over here at the latest from the Weather Prediction Center, we are looking at anywhere from another half-inch up to inch-and-a-half of total rainfall, with tomorrow's system lasting into our Sunday as well. So another little dabbling here of another little nice significant amount of rainfall, and we can continue to use it, folks. The latest drought monitor has remained basically unchanged. Whenever this takes into account all the rain that we received this weekend, rolling into next week, Thursday of next week, whenever the drought monitor is released, this should look drastically different than what we're looking at right here today, all right? Now let's shift gears and let's talk about the longer range pattern. We've been receiving numerous questions about, is winter over? My belief and my confidence is that winter is not over. So let's talk about that here for just a second. You're going to note here as we progress throughout the final week of January and we roll into the first week of February, we have a very intense, pronounced Pacific jet stream diving in here off of the western seaboard. This Pacific jet is not going to allow the colder air up here in Canada to roll down here, all right? But take a look as we work into the latter part of the start of February. We're going to progress into the first week. The Pacific jet remains very pronounced. But then we get into the second week, all right? Look at this. We get into the second week of February. That Pacific jet is gone. That's going to open up the door for some colder air to try to jolt down to the south and east and hug down out of Canada in and around the U.S. So now that we've looked at the jet stream and give you a little bit of weather science behind that, let's take a look at the temperature profiles and how they're going to behave in the same time frame. Look at what the Pacific jet is remaining pronounced. We keep it warm over here across our neck of the woods here, across the vast majority of the continental U.S., okay? And then we're going to progress through the first week of February, and then we get into the second week of February, and look at all the cold air trying to drive down south and east and engulf a good chunk of the continental U.S. So for those of you asking and wondering if winter's over, again, the answer is I have confidence that winter is not over in terms of wintry weather. We're going to be looking at the mid to late February time frame with the colder air getting locked in here. Going to be much more difficult to nail down any signal passages during that time. But as we saw previously with the cold air locked in, weather makers that we get rolling through here could equate to a nice little dousing of some winter weather here and around our vicinity. Here's a full breakdown of your next 5-day weather forecast for today. Partly to mostly cloudy, light west wind. Going to be holding highs right around the 50 to 55 degree mark. Widespread rain showers take over tonight throughout our Saturday with colder temperatures holding between the mid and upper 40s. Even colder on Sunday with that light scattered rain chance hanging tough. Gradual clearing skies on Monday, but will remain cold. We'll be up between the low and mid 50s on Tuesday, and the same weather story will follow suit Wednesday into Thursday of next week. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Friday morning edition of your Weather or Not Bowling Green forecast, brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a blessed, phenomenal